Hello, welcome back to Confident Conversations, and today I've got a very special guest. We've got the amazing Merylin.
Hi everyone.
So, for those of you that don't know Merylin, she's got a TikTok. She's the Hey Babies. She's the Hey Babies girl. And I had to get her on. She's someone that I've known for a long time.
Very long time.
Very long time. Spanish school days. I've always described you as my little sister, you know.
Is it?
Yeah.
To be fair, I think we've basically grown up together.
Pretty
With how
much.
long we've known each other.
Yeah.
It's basically been that.
Yeah, I told your brother when he was here. I've known him for over 20, no, not 20 years, over 15 years.
That's a long time to know someone. And to actually maintain a friendship for that long
Yeah.
is it's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. You see people that you meet in a year and you just cut it off. She's like, yeah, we're not the right vibe for each other.
How would you know who's the right vibe though?
I feel like you get the energy. After a while, when you realise that people do certain things that you yourself wouldn't do, you just know they're not the ones that you would want in your life or in your circle. Or you feel that energy. Right? You need to learn how to read people.
Yeah.
And then you start realising, I don't think, I think it's best if we're just apart. You go, you do your thing, I'll do my thing. Like, because if not, you'll have so many people with you that they're just not meant to be in your life. It's like, do you remember when you were kids? I would never used to know how to differentiate, but my mum would always say, yeah, you're not going to be friends with that person for very long.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, no, we're going to be friends forever. And then within a year or two, you'd be like, yeah, my mum was right. It wasn't meant to be.
To be fair, I never had that.
Really?
Yeah, I never really had friends growing up. I think the first real friends outside my family was you lot.
Do you know what's crazy? I actually remember that. Because I remember when, I think, were you in John's class? Or was it you guys were in the same year?
No, so John was the year above me.
Okay.
But he always welcomed me into the group.
Because that's what I remember. Because I remember meeting you because of him. And he was like, yeah, this is Juan. Like, he's so cool. I don't get what everyone's acting like. And then you guys just started hanging around all the time. And
yeah, that was Spanish school days, La Empanadita. Yeah. Yeah.
That Spanish school was the one. That's where I met all of my friends. That's where every single one of my friends.
Yeah, I think it was that school that I became close to that community.
Yeah.
So it was Christian, Brian. Who else was it? Christian, Brian, Stephen. Christian, Brian, Stephen, your brother. Who else was it in that group?
So many people.
It was a big group. It was a big group. But with him, I never felt left out.
Yeah. I think that's so important. That's what, well, even now he says to the boys, he's got 2 kids.
Yeah.
He says to them now, you always have to, you never know what anyone's going through. Like, even a person that you look at, you're like, oh, their life is perfect. Like, no, you don't know what anyone's going through. If you make anyone feel left out or anything, you're just, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's just not right.
Yeah.
You always got to make sure everyone feels included. Don't get me wrong. This is something that my mum used to always make me do when there was someone who I used to be really close to and she never integrated, and I would always try to be like, oh, come meet everyone.
Yeah.
But she didn't like that sort of vibe. She was more, let's sit down and talk, us two, rather than in a group. And then whenever we'd go to parties or anything, my mum would always be like, oh, bring her in and do this and do that. And then, not that I would end up not having fun, but it was just like I would spend my night making sure she was having fun.
Yeah.
So I would focus not as much on myself. And then it got to a point and I'm like, I'm not having fun. Like, of course, you should always try and make people feel included, but there's so much you can do. When someone's not comfortable, you need to realise, how am I making sure they're comfortable? Are they going to be comfortable in this group, or are they going to be comfortable just us two, doing our own thing, having fun? You just got to learn those things.
Yeah.
I always think it's important to friends. You should know how your friends are in terms of how they're comfortable. Are they introverted, extroverted? Do you know how they're going to be if you bring them into a new group of friends? Like, you have to know all these things to make sure everyone feels comfortable and included.
Yeah, I get that. I don't think I've ever been. No, I have been. I used to be introverted.
I was going to say, from the moment I met you, you've never been introverted.
I was.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that was before I met you then. Or maybe it was as I met you, you started coming out of your shell and I used to always see you out and about.
No, I came out my shell during the pandemic.
Really? Bearing in mind, this was a while ago that we met. I always just remember you thinking, oh, he's just so cool, isn't it? Like,
I never knew that.
yeah.
Yeah, I never
I
knew
always
that.
thought, because I feel like you've overcome so much and you never let anything bring you down. You're always such a bubbly person to talk to everything. And bearing in mind, this was back when I was young, I'd be like, yeah, he's quite cool.
Yeah, I think that was just like for show, if I'm honest. I think with your brother, I was always really comfortable.
Yeah.
Even with your cousins,
Yeah.
I was really comfortable. I'm not going to mention their names because I don't know if they want me to. But I always felt comfortable with them. But no. I always felt comfortable around them and luckily I've always gotten along with them. But I think growing up, I always had to put on a show and just be like, yeah, I'm this guy. I'm confident. I was never confident. And I think being with a brother, it pushed me to be comfortable a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he invited me to the park. There's a video that I've got rent through my head of him and Jason. But I think your brother pulled me out of that experience.
Do you not feel like, though, because this is talking from my own experience, do you not feel like when the saying, fake it till you make it, is so true?
See, I had this with Nalanvi a couple of months back, and she said something that really resonated with me, and I was, because I used to think the same thing, but she said, "But what are you faking?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "You're not really faking it. You're just trying to come out of your comfort zone."
Okay, I like that.
And for me, I was like, no, but I was faking it. I wasn't the person who I used to be. So I was pretending to be this guy that I wasn't. It was a facade. I tried to be the cool kid, the guy with all the girls. That was never really me. But what she said was like, but you're not. That wasn't you. That was you trying to be someone. But your confidence isn't you faking it, it's you trying to explore other parts of your life. And I was like,
Wow, do you know what? I have never thought of it like that. That's nice.
Yeah.
The reason I've never thought of it like that is because I always used to think, I'm a very confident person.
Yes.
For those that don't know me, I'm very confident.
You are.
Now. But growing up, I used to always put on like a front that I was a confident person. I used to put on this persona like, I look good, I feel good, and this is what I'm going to give the people. And you could ask everyone who I grew up with. They would be like, oh, this girl, like she's doing too much. And I would, because I would be like, oh, I look good, I look nice.
Yeah.
Even though I wouldn't feel it.
Okay.
But in my head, I was like, if I tell everyone I look confident and I feel good, then that's how they'll look at me. So even though I don't feel it, like actually, that's what they're going to see me as. And then as I've grown and as I've kept going, the more I say it to myself, the more I'm like, wait, actually, I do feel good. I do look good. And now people look at me and I'm like, yeah, she's quite confident. I'm like, I think I'm very confident now, and I genuinely feel it.
You're very confident.
I'm very confident. Like, I'll happily go in front of a crowd and like talk to people, be like, hey, it's a bit embarrassing, but like, what's everyone doing? How is everyone? But yeah, I know, I like that. It's like you weren't faking something, you were pushing a person that you wanted to be, and then you become that person.
Yes.
So I like that. I never thought of it like that. I always thought I'll fake it till I make it, and I made it.
Yeah, that's exactly how I thought. But until I had that conversation, I was like, okay. That's very different.
That is do you know what? I think that's the first time I've heard of someone like use it in that way.
Yeah.
Like, you're not faking it. That's truly who you are. You just have to bring that out.
Yeah.
Wow. That is mad. I'm going to start using that now. I was like,
Definitely.
it's in you. You just have to bring it out.
Definitely.
But that is true, though. Because I feel like everyone has a side of them that they don't realise they have.
Yeah.
Whether it be good or bad,
Yeah.
you know, because everyone's got their bad to them. But everyone's got the side of them that if they really wanted to bring it out, they could.
Yeah.
Like, you've got people that they don't realise how, like, strong-willed and dedicated they can become until they actually start and put their mind to it and they start doing everything. Like, my brother, Ocho Garcia, I've noticed a really crazy, like, change in him for the past, I think I want to say, year. He's been really dedicated. Before this, he was quite like, oh, I want to become an artist. I want to do music. I see a career in this.
Yeah.
But for this past year, it's been like a switch. Like, the way I've seen him, the dedication, the late nights. And anytime I call him, I know he's at the studio. Like, I'm like, where is he? Oh, I know he's at the studio. I don't even need to ask him. And it's crazy to see that you can actually put your mind to it. And if it's something you want.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a whole music video out now. Shout out Eleni. Like, and it's on 50K. That's really good. I'm so proud of him.
What, his recent?
Yeah.
Okay.
On his views on YouTube. And he's got a whole other song coming out soon. So watch out for that. But it's so crazy to think that you put your mind to it and you actually do something, you do it.
Yeah.
You just have to manifest it and it happens.
Do I agree with that? No, I do agree with that.
What, do you not agree with manifestation or you don't agree with putting your mind to it? Which
No,
one?
so I don't know how to put this. I'm trying to find the words. No, so if we go back to the beginning, right to the beginning when I went to your house, that was the first time I knew he was into music. And I was like, oh, okay, it's different. But I never knew he was into music at that point until he was like, Juan, have I not told you? I'm into music now. I was like, oh, okay. At that point, we hadn't spoken like 5 years. But he was like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, okay. He's into music. I think at that point, I had only heard of 2 or 3 Latin artists. Oli Mac, Eugenia Lisa, and another girl, I can't remember her name. Actually, Nita, I think it was. So when your brother told me, I was like, oh, okay. I'm not going to lie, I didn't take him as seriously as I thought I should.
Yeah, 100%. No one did.
Because I was like, yeah, he's just making music. He's just another rapper. Come back to... When did I start speaking to him again? Last year? The year before. Might have been the year before. He messaged me and he was like, oh, no, I saw him at the LDNRBS event. Oh. And I was like, oh, okay.
I see it.
I was like, oh, okay, he pushed it. And I think he had released See You Got a Key recently.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So he did work hard, but I don't really believe in manifestation.
Okay.
I believe in manifestation only works if you work hard.
Oh, 100%.
To make it happen.
100%.
And if I go with my sort of evidence is, last year I wasn't pushing out the podcast barely. I was barely pushing it out. I was making inconsistent episodes. And I was like, whatever. But people start believing, and then I started believing. This year, I've made the same amount of episodes that I did last year in only 2 months.
That is so good. That's how you know. Mm-hmm. What you said, manifestation doesn't work unless you put the work in it. You can't, and I do agree with that.
Yeah.
I do agree with manifestation. Like, I agree words have power.
Yeah.
And the way you speak to people and the way you speak to yourself, it has power in itself. That's why I always say you should always speak only nice words to yourself. Only because if not, you're going to start internalizing if you start saying anything bad. Because the brain, that's how it works. But I do feel like if you manifest something and then if that's what you truly want, you're going to find a way to make it happen. And that's why it works. Yeah. Because you see something, you're like, that's what I want. That means if that's what I want, I'm going to work harder. Yep. I'm going to find what I need to do to make that happen. Like, going back onto John, like, I remember when he was like 15, he would write songs of my cousin.
Okay.
And they thought they were the baddest people around, and like, all of our songs, and they would have this little YouTube video on their little like iPhones, whatever they had back then. And to think that was how he started, and then he obviously stopped. He was like, I don't want that. And then it starts happening up again. You're like, wow, so maybe this was what you truly wanted. You just never put the work.
Yeah.
You never done anything for it.
Yeah.
Whereas you start seeing now, like you've done the same episodes in 2 months than in a year. It's because you want it now. You want to make it happen.
Yeah, definitely. I think this was your brother's vision initially, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So, I don't know if you know this, but he used to message me. Last year, he messaged me a lot. He was like, Juan, let's do a podcast. Juan, let's start up a podcast. Juan, I think it would be really cool if we start a podcast. But for me, in my head, I was like, I don't think it's the right time. I don't think I want to do it now.
Right.
And at the time, I was doing boxing, which I really enjoyed, and I didn't really want to stop that. But the moment that I started this, I was like, okay.
I like it. This is me.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, John's going to be pissed off at me because I'm not doing a podcast with him. And when I had him on, I was like, John, you were the reason that I started this. He was like, yeah, but, I gave you your wings and here you are, you're doing it solo. I was like, you were trying to influence me to do it. But yeah, this was his idea.
Sometimes, do you know what though? I feel like sometimes you would want to do something, but you do need someone to push you.
I don't think this was ever my ideas.
Really? See, so you needed a little push. You needed a big push.
100%.
Because if not, you never would have done it.
I think without your brother, I wouldn't have met the artists that I've met today who are in like the USA and like the vloggers. So, Merylin Garcia, I love you, bro. I appreciate you because without you, this would not have happened. But yeah, I think you do need a push at times, but I think it's also great to know that it's never going to be a perfect time, and 100%. things don't always come at the best moment. But you got to do what you got to do.
You got to take it. That's like with me I used to do TikTok religiously. I mean, I did religiously, and I thought I was doing quite well. I was hitting quite a lot of views, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I used to love doing my little videos and doing the little editing, and then when it got posted and I would see the views, I'm like, oh my gosh, people like what I'm doing. And for me, when I started getting invited like to restaurants and to review that's when I started seeing, wow, this could be a really big thing. But I feel like I just lost the motivation for it.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I don't know what it was, but I used to be so active in the sense of like, I would, all right, let's do this, let's do that, like, let's go here, let's go there. And then it got to a point where I'm like, I don't even want to do that anymore. Like, I just want to relax. I want to go out and I don't want to be worried about my phone. Bearing in mind, I used to be on my phone I'm still on my phone a lot. But I used to be on my phone all the time. I used to be like, wait, can we stop? I want to record this. And I feel like there should be a fine balance between actually enjoying the moment and if you're filming, enjoying that. Because when I stopped enjoying it, I was like, I don't even want to. And I feel like that's what kind of stopped. Because I was going up.
You were.
And then I just stopped. And don't get me wrong, I'm trying to get back into it because I didn't really enjoy it at one point. And I feel like I can come to enjoy, like properly enjoy it, which I have now. Yeah. When I do my little TikToks and I'm out, like when I go on a holiday, and I can just look back on my videos from like what I've done. It's so much fun. It's like it's a little time capsule, like from the year, but like before, from that. It's so good.
Let me ask you this, because it was the exact same for me when I was doing my reels and my IG lives. How focused were you on the analytical side? How focused were you on numbers?
It's a hard one because when I was first starting it, you get like a sense of euphoria, and you're like, oh my god, I've hit 10k. This is 10k people that are seeing. Bearing in mind, I always say, like, because I do social media for LNE now, and I always say to everyone, I was like, I know we're starting off slow. We've only got 200 views, but you have to remember, if you put 200 people in a room, that is a lot of people seeing your stuff. And I feel like we're in a social media age where everything is numbers. If you're not hitting 10K, if you're not hitting 20, if you're not hitting 1 million, then you're not hitting what you want to be hitting, which don't get me wrong, I understand. However, you have to put that into context, and you have to remember that is a lot of people.
Yes.
100 people is a lot of people. 200 people, like even 1,000, like you have to put that into a room and you're like, all of these people have seen what you've posted.
Yeah.
Even though it's not big numbers as you would want, because obviously social media is going to reach a wide audience, it's still a lot.
It is.
Like, we do live on social media now, and for me, it did get to a point where I was like, okay, how many views am I? Like, I would wake up and like, how many views am I on? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not even like TikTok famous. Like, I'm not even that person that I live on TikTok. So for me to be when I was starting to get obsessed to that point, I was like, what am I doing? Like, this isn't me. Like, I don't view myself as like, oh, I'm a TikToker, that's my job. I don't. I just like doing TikToks because I enjoy doing them. Like, I like making these videos.
Yeah.
I like being able to, in a year's time, look back on what I've done.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I religiously go to sleep and I'll just look back, scroll through my TikTok, oh, that was such a good time. That was great. Me and my friends had so much fun.
Yes.
So when I do it for that reason, I love it. But when I start doing it for how many views is this going to get, I don't love it as much. Because I feel like it takes away from it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I know that's people's job, and I feel like if that is your job, you do have to focus on that a lot more. But for me, necessarily, it's not.
Yeah.
So I do want to focus on doing it for purely just vibes. Like,
Yeah, I get
just
that.
do it to have fun, for me.
Yeah, I get that.
So, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
weird one, isn't it?
It is. It is, because I was the exact same when I started my content on Instagram. I was like, because when I started, I think I hit 2K within 3 hours. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the best content I've produced. And it was like one of the first emotional ones that I did. After that, it just became like
Views.
No, it became a habit. So it became like a job for me. I was like, I'm recording content, but I'm not enjoying the content I'm recording. I'm doing it for the sake of posting.
I know, and that's not nice.
It isn't nice.
Why? It's like, don't get me wrong, I understand that you're making content for other people, because at the end of the day, you are. You know you're putting out there so people can see and they can enjoy it. However, you should do it for yourself. Like, now, I post my videos, the ones that I have posted, and if I don't hit a K, I don't care, because I like my own videos. I'm happy with my own videos. Like, I don't need all these views. I don't need all these things, because at the end of the day, I'm just doing it so that in a month's time, I can look back and be like, I had so much fun that day.
Yeah.
Like, me and my friends were vibes in. We were having a great time. And I love it.
Yep.
Now.
Yes.
Now. But, yeah, it can become a chore if you let it.
Yes.
But you shouldn't let it. You should actually just, for me, I took a step back. I'm getting back into it now because I'm starting to like it again. Yeah. I'm doing social media for LNE. I'm enjoying making content for my brother. Yeah. I'll be like, let's do this, let's do that. Like, give me this, give me that. Like, I like it. So I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to be doing.
But I think, and this is just something that I've sort of learned in the last couple of weeks or so, couple of months even. When you enjoy something and you're doing it for you, the follows will come. If you're pushing it too hard and you're pushing it in a way that is too like, people can notice when you're like, you're not bothered.
If it's not organic, people definitely notice.
People notice.
It's like you with TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and everything being such a like open space. Yep. You are gonna have so many people imitating other people, and like that is a big issue that a lot of people face. Like you copy a person down to the exact emojis that they use, and it's like, where's your originality? Like, I'm not following you so you can copy another person. Yeah. I'm following you because I want to see what your life is like. You seem interesting, and I want that. I don't want you acting like another person. Yeah. It's not. I'll just go for them. Yeah. Like, but it is a big thing that people are it's so easy to imitate people because there's not a lot of originality. So when you don't give out you're just like one of the many.
Yeah, I get that, but I think like people. So I'll go back to my content as purpose. If I look back at my content, it was all very the same. It might have been like different words, but it was all around the same thing, and I think people got bored of it. So if I look at my first 5 videos, literally it's saying the same thing.
Right.
And you can see the views steadily go down. I was like, oh. And that hurt me.
It does, isn't it?
It hurts.
That's when you realise you're like, oh, I'm doing it for the views more than doing it to actually spread what I believe in.
Yeah. See, now I'm not. No, I do care about the views and I do care about the photos, but as much as I'm looking at that, I'm not sort of caring anymore.
Right.
So if I'm seeing like a video with 200 views, and then I post it on TikTok and it gets 300 views, I'm like, that's cool, that's calm. I don't mind that. And then if I see 1 follower and 2 followers, I'm like, that's fine. I'm growing at the rate I need to grow at. But I'm doing it because I enjoy it now. Back then, it was a different story. I was doing it because I had to do it.
Yeah.
So now for me, it's like, I don't post things that I don't think are good enough.
Okay.
So I post... So like, today I posted my last podcast, like a bit clips. And I don't care if it gets 100 views, 200 views, 5 likes, 6 likes. That doesn't bother me anymore. I'm happy with whatever I get. Before, because I had a mentor, I went to impress her. I was like, yeah, I'm getting views, I'm getting likes. Now
I'm getting famous.
Yeah, now it is what it is.
See what you said about when like the content becomes repetitive.
Yeah,
it is. I understand that because like your followers, they come to you for a reason. Example, obviously, if you go to a food channel, you're expecting to just solely see food. You're not going to really go on there expecting to see like a house tour or stuff like that.
Yep.
But people do start, like, we live in an age where attention span is so small that you literally have 7-second videos and it's next. What's next being like, what can I focus on now? That even though you are trying to give people the same like sort of content, let's say, you do have to switch it up. Or else if you don't, you are going to lose that audience that you have and the followers that you have because they're going to get bored and they're going to go to other people.
But have you not seen on TikTok, it comes up every time I post, it says videos with longer than a minute get more attention.
Now I'm starting to see that more because I'm a victim to it too. I would watch a video within 5 seconds. I'd be like, next, yeah, all right, cool. Short videos, I love them. And then I got bored because I'm like, okay, what am I going to use? What can I watch whilst I do my makeup, whilst I do my hair? Like, what can I get inspo from? And I like the longer video now. So it is weird to see that it's having a comeback, which I feel like is essential because people are getting... You can talk to someone and they'll be like, oh yeah, all right, next convo. Like, how about we stick to this one? Let's finish it out and then we'll jump on to the next one. It's okay. We don't have to jump from one to one to one. But TikTok has done that to us. It is dangerous. It is a dangerous game.
It is. But I think a lot of people just want to get TikTok famous.
Yeah.
Like they're not working on other grinds.
Yeah.
So I see like a lot of content. I see a lot of football content. I see a lot of like short form podcasts, and I'm like, put the effort in a little bit.
Do you know what I have seen? And I feel like podcasts are a great thing when you have great people doing them.
Yeah.
Like, I like your podcast because I
Thank
feel
you.
like there's a meaning. I like what you do. You like to have people in here, have conversations, you know, like just get to know people, and I feel like that's quite nice. But then now you're seeing a lot of podcasts that anyone can do it.
Yep.
But then you have people that are talking about crazy stuff on there, and then this is getting shown and it's getting views, but only because it's so controversial that you're like, why would anyone want to hear this?
Because it's controversial.
Because it's controversial, but I know controversy sells, but it really shouldn't. It really shouldn't. Some people don't deserve a mic. Some people shouldn't be on there because they're not really like inspiring anyone. They're not really doing much. Like, yeah, I don't know.
To be fair, I had this conversation with your brother. And he said drama sells.
Drama sells. I'm telling you. Drama, controversy, everything. Like, the more outrageous and out of pocket a thought or an idea is, the more people are going to view it. Even if it's just the haters, they're going to view it because they want to send it to people and chat rubbish about it.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
All right, let me ask you this. If someone was manipulating your brother into making a song with them because they supported him throughout the whole... Not even throughout the whole, throughout like, the beginning of his career. And I'm saying manipulating, like saying, oh, we got to do a collab. Remember, I was the one that first supported you. I was the one that first gave you that love. What would you think of then? Would you like be like, yeah, do it? Or would you be like, no? If you don't saying drama sells.
The reason I'm saying it's hard is because, drama sells, but, like, I feel like my brother, I feel like he's at a point right now, he's only, for me personally, not just being biased, but for me personally, I feel like he's at a good point right now. Like, I feel like he's only going to keep going up.
Yeah.
I feel like the more people get to know him and the more people listen to him, they're going to realise that he's quite good. He's got some good music coming out this year. Not just because I'm his sister, but I genuinely believe it. We've got a great team, obviously, behind him that are pushing it. Now, it's so hard. Like, you should never forget your roots, right? But you need to realise that there's levels and there's standards. If you don't feel like a person is going to elevate you, just because they've supported you and they've done, you shouldn't be guilted into that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if you don't feel like you guys have the same, like it's gonna be cohesive, it's gonna be good, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Just because, you've been there for me, let's do a song. No. It don't work like that. Like, no. I mean, I personally would be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
If this person is not very good, and they're only doing it out of like guilt, like, they've actually been there for me for so long, like, let's just do it. Like, what are you doing? You yourself aren't going to love it as much as you could if you were with someone that you actually wanted to do it with. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
But saying that, I do feel like a lot of what my brother does is quite good. So don't get me wrong, he's had some questionable songs, but that's what it is, and you only get better.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sticky. I don't know. You put me in a sticky one there. But yeah. I don't think I would. I think I'd be like, don't let them guilt you.
Yeah.
Don't let them guilt you into it. You decide if you actually want to do it. You decide if it's good for you. Because at the end of the day, you've got to think of yourself. You're trying to make it big as an artist.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to try and do. So yeah, hard one.
Yeah. It's a sticky one.
It is sticky. So, yeah, I feel like you always got to do what's best for you.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's not always, what's going to make people happy. Because at the end of the day, everyone, be selfish. I know people say, look out for others. Yes, but be selfish. Because only your mum and yourself are going to love you as much as they could. And sometimes even mums don't. My mum does, but sometimes mums don't.
Have you not heard the saying, los hijos son prestados, no son los hijos?
Los hijos son prestados, no son los hijos. I think I've heard it once. Once before.
I started thinking about this the other day and I was like, actually...
What does it mean? Tell me.
That shit hits hard. Think about it this way. You have... Actually, let's go with John because he's got kids.
We've spoken so much about him. This basically podcast they're John.
So the way I see it is, once you get to a certain age, your kids get to a certain age, they won't forget about you, but they've got to live their own life.
Right.
Whether it means distancing themselves from you, whether it means following their own path, their own career, because you hold themselves, you're only there to like guide them and look after them.
Oh,
After a certain while, they've got to go off by themselves and
live their life.
You can't really.
Raw. That is nice.
Yeah.
That is. Me and my mum have always had issues, as in like any family does, but like I always say that my brother is my mum's favourite.
Mm-hmm.
But deep down, I know it's not. Like, I know I just say it to wind her up. But it is, there is times when my mum wants me to live a life that she sees me living. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I know she wants what's best for me. Like, I know she's only wanting, like, the best.
Yeah.
But sometimes what she sees as the best and what I see as the best are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's pushed me so hard. Like, she's guided me. Like, she was so happy when I went back to uni.
Yeah.
But she also sees this as like, so example, she really wants me to get into a relationship.
Okay.
Really wants me to get into a relationship. Like, it'll be best if you stop going out. You've got too many male friends, which, don't get me wrong, I know que eso espanta. Like, mate, there's a saying que espanta el ganado. That's what my male friends are doing. And I do get it. But
I disagree.
No, I agree completely.
I disagree. I've got a lot of female friends, but for me, I grew up around women my whole life. So for me, I sort of got used to the female environment.
Yes, but so example, there was one point where I was anytime, because I have a lot of male friends. Anytime I would post, we'll take pictures and I'll post it. I realised that I'm like showing as if they don't know that's my friend. Yeah. As in, anyone who's trying to talk to me or anything, ask me out, they don't know that's my friend. Unless they know me and they know that's a friend, they won't know. So I was like, I started deepening it. My mum was like, Merylin, you basically show like, oh, this might be my boyfriend, that might be your boyfriend. It's like, there's no problem with it. Have your friends, but just remember that people online don't know you like the people in person. I was like, that's so true. So when I go out with my friends, if like I'm not with the girls and I'm with the boys, no one chats to me. No one. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, I want to talk to someone. I want to talk to someone that's not these people. So when I'm with the girls, we'll either like disappear or just have a girls' night or anything, because if there's guys there, other guys won't talk to you. Like, it is weird. That's what I'm saying. Espantan el ganado. They get rid of them. I'm telling you, they get rid of them.
Fair enough.
But what we're saying, so my mum really wants that for me right now. And she's like, please stop going out. Like, you've been going out too much. You're always out. Like, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even on Thursday. I'm not, but that's what she says. Yeah. Heck, you want a boyfriend, you want a husband, like that. And I'm like, I do want that. And I do see your vision for my life. But I'm only going to be young once. And don't get me wrong, I know that there's different stages in life. And when I get older, I'm going to have a different stage. I'll probably just want to do like a book club, or I don't know, like just go for a wine tasting, stuff like that. But right now, I'm in my stage where I like going out. I'm not tired. Like, I've still got energy. When I hit, probably 26, I won't want to be out in a club till 3 a.m. I'll probably want to be till 12 and then go home.
Oh, okay.
Do you get what I mean? So I'm happy to be doing those things, where my mum, it's not that she's not happy, but she was like, I'd be happier if you just be chilling at home. So it's like, my mum wants what's best for me, but it's not always the same thing.
Yeah, I get that.
It is a sticky one, because at the end of the day, you do want to make your parents proud, but it's still your life. You're still two completely different people with living two completely different lives. Like,
I'm going back to the end of the topic. Los hijos son prestados.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Because, yeah, do you know, I had never heard of that. I think I've heard it like once, but it is true. Like, you have to raise your kids to the point where you think they're good people.
Yep.
Because you can't really do much apart from that. At the end of the day, each person has their own personality,
Yep.
their own way of living life, and you can't control that once it hits a certain age.
Yeah.
But you just have to do your best. Like, I don't have kids right now, but I hope that when I do have kids, I can basically give them the tools to be a good person in life and just...
Defo.
Exactly. Because if not, then what are you doing?
Yep. But, just to sort of close this bit off, I think that you would be an amazing mum.
Thank you.
I've seen pictures of you with your nephews. I don't know how you are.
I do love them.
Yeah. I don't know how you are with your other cousins. Kids.
I don't see them as much, but obviously my nephews, you know, we see them every 2 weeks consistently. Love them. Annoying, because all kids are. But I love them. I can't imagine my life without them. Like.
Yeah, you're gonna be an amazing mum, like I said. Going back on the TikTok, you should carry on doing it, keep on growing. You started killing it. I remember seeing it. I was like, okay, this is another video.
Don't worry, Hey Baby's gonna make a comeback. It's gonna make a comeback.
I was very proud of that growth when I saw it. I think I told your brother about it. I was like, she's growing. She's gonna be an amazing person. But yeah, I think you are very happy and lucky to have the people around you, LNE, your TikTok as well, your growth, and I think you're gonna keep doing it. Hopefully,
I feel like I am gonna make a comeback because I am trying to dedicate more time into it. LNE, we're gonna do amazing.
Yeah.
I'm doing social media, but we've got an amazing team. Like Caddy, director, creator, Esco, obviously, Ocho. Davincho, like we've got an amazing team, so I feel like you guys, there's a lot coming for us. You're gonna see.
100%. Can't wait to see that.
But thank you so much for having me on here.
That's alright.
This has been a very nice conversation.
Definitely, have you back on.
Yeah. Once I've had more views and more videos, and LNE goes even further than it is right now. 100%. Be back on here and be like, do you remember a little podcast from last time?
Get the whole crew in.
Exactly. Yeah. I was all on it, someone was on the floor.
Defo. But thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's been lovely. It's been a nice conversation.
Don't you even notice the camera?
No, I didn't.
Thank you. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Merylin. I'm gonna link her socials in the bio or in the description, whichever comes first. But love, show her some love, and thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting.